Hello, Mr. Pankaj. Welcome to our program Thoughtful Leadership by College Sumia.
Thank you so much, Apuva, for inviting me for this particular interview or the entire thing.
Thank you, sir. So, for our viewers, I would just like to tell a little about Mr. Pankaj. Professor Pankaj Chaudhary is currently the principal of BMS College of Commerce and Management, Dean of BMS Center for Executive Education, and in charge principal at BMS Evening College of Arts and Commerce. He has previously worked at the Indian Institute of Planning and Management, Bangalore, as Associate Dean for more than a decade. He has also worked with Indian Council for Marketing Research, a division of Planman Consulting, and Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company, New Delhi, in his past. He has been instrumental in establishing more than 5 educational institutions like IIPM Bangalore, IIPM Cochin, Planman Consulting Bangalore, BMS Center for Executive Education, and BMS College of Commerce and Management. He is pursuing doctorate degree in management from Vivekanand Global University, Jaipur, and has completed MBA from IMI Belgium and BCom from St. Xavier's College. He has published many research papers in national and international journals. His area of expertise is accounting and finance. He has won the Best Teaching Faculty Award at IIPM Bangalore and Outstanding Contribution Award in Administration. We are glad to have you on board with us, sir.
Most welcome, Apuva.
So, moving on to my first question, I would like to ask you, having held a key position at an educational institute for such a long time, what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
See, for any educationist, the most key factor is the students. So when you feel that you need to be connected with an educational institution, the first primary objective or the first stakeholder of any educational institution is our students. And if you really want to be connected and be young, you should always be connected to students. So that's my say on educational institution. So you actually want to be always you always want to be connected with the world which is happening today. Anything which is there, the most dynamic resource for you to be connected are the students, and nothing as good as an educational institute to be being with them. So that's something which I would like to say on that.
Okay, that's great to hear, sir. So, moving on to my next question. Being the principal of the BMS College of Commerce and Management, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
When I talk about a leadership skill for any educational institution, or me being the principal of the institution, what I believe is that a leader is a person who creates more leaders. So unless and until you are very autocratic, or wherein you probably try to rule over somebody, you will not be able to achieve the results. So there are different leadership skills which you apply to different people. Like when it comes to administrative level, I have different leadership skills. When it comes to faculty members who are very respectful, I have different kind of leadership style that I use. So at different level, you use different leadership skills. What I could tell you is that you need to be adaptive to different changes which happens based on different kind of profile or the roles that you play. All I want to tell you is that if you give freedom to your faculty members, they might be much more better to give delivery to the students, or otherwise also, because they don't need motivation in terms of monetary aspects of anything like that. But when it comes to my admissions team, probably what motivates them more is the incentives and the more and more pep talks that we give it to them, because that's something which is very important at any given point of time. When it comes to administrative level, I have different roles to play. I need to be sometimes very strict. I need to be sometimes different with, there are certain decisions which are very, very difficult to take. Like suppose during this pandemic, a lot of students might not be able to pay their fees. So it's very simple for me to disallow them from classes, but then keeping into account the current situation, everybody is going through tough time. So we need to change our style of leadership, and then make yourself feel, understand, putting your foot into somebody else's shoes and see how do they feel. So at different level, different leadership skills is what we try to fit into. So it's not the same for everybody.
Very well put, sir. So, moving to my next question, the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your college?
See, generally in India, the education system is something which is being followed for a long time without having much of changes. But the new education policy which has come up is much more lucrative and much more flexible in terms of adaptability. So students will have a lot of choices when this particular policy comes into picture. And being into an education industry in India, what I would like to tell you is that the quality of education in India is definitely good. And especially at BMS, we try and bring in as much as possible exposure to the students, to the rest of the world. So we have introduced papers like Global Economic Scenario. We have papers like Executive Communication, which build up their communication and the personality of the student. So what we do at BMS is to work on a 360-degree approach to a student, so that they not only develop in terms of academics that they are going to learn, because academics for every college is fixed, either governed by the university which they are affiliated to, or through their own autonomous program. But what you can do is you can always give value add to all the students by adding up something or the other in addition to their set curriculum which is there. At BMS, we try and do that, so that we give much more to the students over and above the regular academic. From the very first year, we try and incorporate syllabus in the syllabus subjects like executive communication, global economic scenario. We have skill development papers. We have something like advanced Excel, which is being taught to you, because if you go to the corporate world today, it's all about Excel. So any application that you open today, if you are very well versed with Excel, something you will always accelerate good. So what we want to do is we want to give students the exposure in such a way that they are industry ready. That's the objective what we do at BMS.
Okay, that's great to hear, sir. So, being the principal of BMS College of Commerce and Management, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for marketing and administration of your college?
See, BMS educational institutions are governed under the aegis of BMS Educational Trust. So we have a trust under which we all function. There are 12 different institutions under BMS Educational Trust. So all of us are reporting to the Educational Trust, and the Council of Trustees take up all the decisions. What happens at college level is that every college is governed by a board of governors, wherein all the trustee members and trust officials of the BMS Educational Trust are a part of it. In addition to that, we also have 2 people from industry and 1 representative from the university who comes and plays a key role. So any decisions, whether it is admission related, whether it is administrative, whether it is academic related, whether it's placement related, everything is being discussed, and a decision is being taken up at the Board of Governors meeting, which happens every quarter at all BMS institutions. When it comes to specifically to admissions, probably we have a set of admission team which strategizes for the next year of admission, and keeping into consideration, like if this year it was a pandemic, and exactly during the admission season, which was starting from March, we were affected. So we all moved to online. So entire process of admission, from applications to interviews to selection letter to fees payment, everything was made online, so that students need not come to the campus. In fact, the classes now is also happening online with the help of the ERP software which the college is having, and the feedback of students has been fabulous.
That sounds really good, sir. So, moving to my next question, how does the curriculum of BMS College of Commerce and Management ensure the best practice of industry?
Like I told you, BMS College of Commerce and Management is affiliated to Bangalore City University.
Yes,
So,
sir.
as such, we do not have much of say in terms of changing the syllabus. But what we do is the syllabus which is being prescribed by the university, we keep adding up additional courses, which are add-on courses in every semester. Like I told you before itself, that we add up courses like executive communication, we add up courses like global economic scenario, we advanced Excel is something which we add up. For BCS students, we add up different programs altogether. So every semester, in addition to the syllabus of the student, we keep adding subjects which are very, very relevant to the students in terms of industry, and we keep changing this. The advantage of these add-on papers is that at any given point of time, you can change them, keeping into mind the demand of the market. Like tomorrow, if supply chain is something which needs a lot of people and something more, we probably look out for a supply chain course related thing. At one point of time, Six Sigma was growing up big time, so we had Six Sigma certification program which we had incorporated. So likewise, these add-on courses and additional features which we provide to the students, which depends upon the industry requirement, we keep changing it across. And that's something which makes our program superior to any other college, which is affiliated to a university.
Okay, understood, sir. So, any insights into how your institute could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
See, when we talk about economic background, BMS generally keeps into account we are a not-for-profit institution, and we believe in that. We keep the course fees in such a way that it's neither very, very high nor it's very less, but there it's in the mid-range if you keep into consideration the other educational institutions which are at league with BMS. But then for economically background students, we have scholarship schemes. We have schemes wherein we incentivize, and more than that, the donor trustee of this college plus the chairman are very, very generous. Any needy person, anybody who needs any kind of fees concession, we definitely look into their educational credentials and financial background, and then the BOG decides upon that, and then we give them. In addition to that, annually we also have B.S. Narayan Memorial Scholarship, wherein we give scholarship to the students who are meritorious. It's called Merit Cum Means Scholarship, which is being provided by the college, in addition to all the other scholarship schemes which are being provided by the government to them. Additionally, if some students need some installment facility or the bank loan facility, we help them in getting that as well. So it's not very difficult, and the management is really very flexible when it comes to fees payment. We provide them as much as support, whether it is in terms of assistance, in terms of scholarship, in terms of bank loans. We really try to give them the best which is available.
That sounds really nice, sir. So, what do you think about the institute's top priority over the next 10 years?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So, what do you think of the institute's priority over the next 10 years?
The institute priority over the next 10 years is very simple. We are focused towards the new educational policy which is going to come over, and we are working towards that. What I would probably like to tell you is that every other institution under BMS Educational Trust, especially BMS College of Commerce and Management, has short-term and long-term strategies, and we work on those strategies to get into accreditations to follow the norms which the government has laid down. And since the new education policy is going to be introduced, we are very much welcoming that, and in support of that, we will probably plan out for much more better programs which are very, very student-centric, and also in terms of giving them exposure, which is like making them industry-ready, creating entrepreneurs in our college, because that's something which the Prime Minister of the country is focused towards. So we are really working hard on those aspects so that 10 years from now, we will see a college which probably will be categorized as one of the best in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of leadership skills, which the students will be going ahead. and also to improvising on the placements, which are very, very important for any educational institution.
Sure, sir. So, when you first came to BMS, what was your vision for the college, and has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing that vision are you?
See, the institution is being built up, as I told you, under the guidance of BMS Educational Trust. The donor trustee of this trust is Dr. B.S. Ragini Narayan Madam, and also all other trustees are also big visionaries. So we have just tried to build in the confidence in the trust and in the trustee members to make sure that all the vision and focus that they had to create institutions and make it bigger and bigger, we have been able to be very successful. So in last 3 years of time, or last 6 years of my tenure with BMS, we have been able to start off various educational institutions. I personally, with the help of the management and their support, has opened up institutions under BMS, which is called BMS College of Commerce and Management. We also have BMS Center for Executive Education. We also started off with BMS Evening College, which is catering to the working class executives for their evening degree programs. So these are 3 institutions. Probably we were very instrumental in starting off. In addition to that, BMS has also started off BMS College of Architecture and BMS College of Law, which has moved out from a smaller to the bigger campus. So in last 5-6 years of times and in last 10 years, there is tremendous amount of development which has happened, and all thanks to the trustee members who are taking care of the BMS group of institutions so well.
Sure, sir. So what do you see as a principal of BMS College? What do you see as the greatest strengths of the university?
Sorry, I did not get that.
So, as a principal, what do you think is one of the greatest strengths of what are the greatest strengths of BMS College of Commerce and Management?
The greatest strength of BMS College of Commerce and Management are the 4 core values. The 4 core values of BMS College of Commerce and Management talks: one is education, the second is excellence, third is entrepreneurship, and the fourth one is empowerment. These are the 4 most powerful words which has been the core values of BMS, and I think that's something which will definitely make this institution big, because if we focus on these 4 core values of BMS College of Commerce and Management, I'm sure everything else is being taken care in this.
All right, that's good to hear, sir. So moving to my last question, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for BMS College of Commerce and Management?
See, the biggest challenge which I see today in terms of educational institution is the connect between the educational institution and the industry. What the industry expects today, the educational institution probably does not provide them. So industry needs people who are ready to be, they need people who are actually trained so that they can immediately start using them as a resource. There is a gap between industry and academia. So probably if that could be taken into account, probably all educational institutions, not only BMS, probably every other college, every other institution will be able to cater to the industry directly. So that's something which is a big challenge. And the other challenge, what I feel, is in terms of the implementation of various schemes which various institutions bring up. And one big challenge which I feel is the faculties. Today we are very, very scarce in terms of faculty members, good faculty members, because people joining into education industry are very less, or rather, I don't see a person who is an IIT graduate, topper of the institution, coming back and joining IIT themselves, or whether it is BMS or whether it is IIMs, the top-notch guy of that particular institution does not become a faculty member. So if you do not have the best of the people teaching you your own institution at a later point of time, probably that's something which is going to be very, very alarming. And the way we are growing in terms of education, that's going to be a big challenge, because if you do not create good teachers and good institution, probably you will not be able to face competition when foreign university comes into India.
Okay, that's good to hear, sir. So thank you so much for coming on our platform. The interview was very insightful. We learned a lot about you and BMS, College of Commerce and Management specifically. It was really nice having you on our platform.
Thank you so much, Apurva, for calling me here for this particular interview and the entire process. I am very, very glad to hear from you. And College Dunia, of course, I have always heard about it, and we are associated with them. So I think probably you guys are doing great.
Thank you so much, sir.